Welcome, y'all. And I know that you're taking time out of your day, out of your business, from your family life to be here, but I'm telling y'all, I mean, this information completely changed my family's life. And it's very, very important information that honestly, they just don't teach us about, right? They don't teach us about money, about the banking function in our life. And that's really what we're going to be here talking about today. So, my company is the Money Multiplier, and I'm Hannah. I'll get into my story here in a second. But y'all, I'm not here to sell you anything or ask you to buy anything. Okay. So you can go ahead, put your credit cards, your checkbooks, your social security numbers back inside of your pocketbook. We're just here to learn. And what I want to teach y'all about is a process called the infinite banking concept. And now, some of y'all, maybe you have heard about this concept before, but maybe it's never been explained to you in this way. And some of y'all, maybe this is the first time you're ever hearing about this, and I'm about to challenge and wow your conventional thinking when it comes to your money. Because here's the thing, you guys are really, really great at making your money, but you suck at keeping it. So all I want to do is I just want to show you how to keep the money that you're already making. I don't want you to change anything that you're already doing. I don't want you to take on any additional risk or lose control of your cash flow. All we're going to change is where the money goes first. Because here's what my late mentor would always say. He says that you want to be in two businesses in your lifetime. The first one is the one that you're passionate about, gets you up out of bed every day, supports the livelihood, supports the family, producing the income. But the second business is the banking business, the business that finances everything throughout your life. And that's what we're going to be here talking about is the banking business. So you can see my contact info up there on the screen too, my cell phone number, my email address, and then also our website, themoneymultiplier.com. But real quick, who am I? My name's Hannah, Hannah Kesler. So actually, I'm calling y'all from Florida today. So Daytona Beach, Florida is where I now call home. But I actually grew up in the Kansas City area. And back in Kansas City, so you see that bald-headed guy right up there on the screen? Brent Kessler. Yeah, that's my dad. So dad is actually a chiropractor. And in Kansas City, he owned 5 clinics in the Kansas City area. And this was back in 2006. Dad was at a chiropractic convention and he was sitting in the audience, just like how y'all are right now. He was sitting there in the audience, and there was somebody up on stage teaching about this concept. And Dad was sitting there with his arms crossed like this, and he goes, "Man, that stuff looks really, really good, but it kind of looks just too good to be true." I mean, have you ever heard anything like that? Something too good to be true? So, what Dad did is he bought Nelson's book here, and I'll talk more about this book here in a second. But he bought Nelson's book. He went home, he put the information on the shelf, and he didn't do anything with it. 2 years later, 2008, he went back to the same chiropractic convention and he was greeted by about 10 or 12 of his colleagues who were coming up to him, hooting and hollering about this banking concept. They're like, "Brent, isn't this concept so cool? I'm able to pay off my debt, pay the salaries of my employees, pay the overhead expenses of the office, and I'm able to recycle and recapture all of that money back to me." And that's when Dad thought to himself, all right, there's got to be something to this. There's no way 10 or 12 of my closest colleagues are lying to me about this stuff. I mean, maybe one or two of them, but no way 10 or 12. So that's when my family took action, was back in 2008. And at that time, we had almost $1 million of debt. And actually, Pops has it nailed down to the exact penny. But we had almost $1 million of debt. And by implementing this concept, he was able to pay off that debt in 39 months. 3 years and 3 months. He didn't work any harder, treat more patients, open the office for longer hours. Again, he just changed where the money was going first. So, and then luckily, because of that, I'm second generation into this. And then I started my infinite banking journey when I was 18 years old. Now, in order for us to have this conversation around money, we just have to agree on the definition of money. So, if I were to ask y'all, what is the definition of money? What would you tell me? And again, I travel around a lot. I teach on this live and I get a lot of good responses back from the audience. But isn't money all money is just a means of exchange, is it not? That's all that money is. All we do with money all day long is we exchange it for the goods, the products, the services that we're buying in life. Money for food, food for money, money for car, car for money, money for house, house for money, right? That's all that money is. So, for the next 6.5 hours that I have your attention here today, that's going to be our definition of money. Can we agree on that? Now, because of time, I'm not going to play this short video, but here's a little bit of homework for y'all. I want you guys to go to YouTube and I want you to look up the backwards bicycle. Backwards Bicycle on YouTube. It's about a 7.5 minute video. And I like to just play this just because it gets our minds geared into being open and receptive to new ideas, new ideologies. Because I'm telling you, you are viewing things within a bias and a lens, whether you realize it or not. So I'll just play a short snippet of it so when you go home tonight and study this stuff in nauseating detail, you know you're on the right video.
Hey, it's me, Destin. Welcome back to Smarter Every Day.
So there's a gentleman by the name of Will Rogers. Here's what Will Rogers says. He says, the problem in America isn't so much what people don't know, it's what they think they know that just ain't so. So again, a lot of the things that we've been taught about money, dollars, and wealth may not actually be the truth. So I want y'all to keep an open mind as you go through this and write your questions down, okay? Because I will give you my cell phone number. Go talk to Rachel after this. Write your questions down because don't just try to keep them up here. You'll forget them. My father has always taught me a short pencil is better than a long memory. So I promise we're going to be here to help answer them after this. We'll do a little Q&A too. But we're going to go through some paradigm shifts together. So I just want you to keep an open mind as we walk through this. Now, we're going to talk about how does your money flow and the method to get all the money back. Y'all, before I get done here today, I'm going to show you how to get all the money back for just the cars you're buying for yourself and your family and your life. And again, if it can work for cars, what else do you think it can work for? A bicycle, a pack of chewing gum, an airline ticket, anything and everything. Now we're able to recycle and recapture all of that money back to us. We're going to get into the mysteries of money, the machine. I mean, what is the machine that we're going to be using to build our wealth? We're going to talk about the mission and the marathon. I'm telling you right now, this is not a get rich quick kind of deal. This is a lifestyle change. This is a marathon, a process that you're adding into your financial life. We're going to talk about the millionaire and then the movement.